Witnesses Clancy admitting to killing her 3 young children in 2023, but her defense argues she was suffering from severe postpartum psychosis and was not criminally responsible. A prosecution psychiatrist testifying that Clancy was not psychotic and understood her actions were wrong. Closing arguments are expected later this week, and the case then goes to the jury. We've got criminal defense attorney Joseph Tully back with us. And Joseph, I think we'll leave this case aside for a second here because we've got a myriad of cases playing out nationwide. At the same time, we're now seeing what the defense is able to bring up with these witnesses, especially as it relates to mothers involving heinous crimes up against their children. There is now sort of come up with this new, not a new defense, but certainly something that is captivating the country, which is postpartum psychosis and what that may entail.
Sure. So certainly I could tell you that as a criminal defense attorney, I've come across a lot of mental illness, and that for a long time we have swept our mental health issues into the criminal justice system. There's not a lot of resources for mental health. It's just sort of expected that the police and the jails will take care of mental health, and it's not a good plan. In fact, that plan results in a lot of tragedy. And yes, there will be cases where people are responsible, but there will be cases where mental health issues are the cause of what happened. And until we sort of address the mental health issues and take it seriously, we're going to continue to have tragedy. Whereas if we deal with the root source of the problem, mental health, in a profound way, we can profoundly, I think, affect the tragedies that we see on a weekly basis, if not a daily basis.
But the actual percentage of crimes that are committed under that defense, if you will, it seems to be a really small number versus the crimes that use that as a defense, where it probably didn't happen that way.
Sure. So the mental health defense is actually very difficult to have, and some states like California have outright banned it in certain areas. So I think back in the 70s and 80s, there was a number of very prominent cases. Dan White in San Francisco, where they used what's been known as the Twinkie defense, and then John Hinckley Jr. shooting Ronald Reagan. And as a reaction to that, we really cracked down on mental health defenses. And it's been very difficult for years. And only really in the past 10 years have I, when I have a doubt as to one of my clients' mental health, have I actually been able to get a diagnosis from a doctor that the person is mentally ill. Prior to that, a judge or a prosecutor or a defense attorney would recommend a client or would declare a doubt, and it was always, they don't meet the criteria. So we are starting to make strides in mental health areas. And again, having a mental health issue doesn't absolutely constitute a defense. Mm-hmm. You still have to prove that they were so mentally unwell that they didn't understand that what they were doing was wrong, or that even if they knew it was wrong, they couldn't help themselves. They just were compelled to act in the way that they did.
Well, hopefully when this goes to closing, we'll talk again and see what, in fact, the jury decides here, but it must be a unanimous verdict. Joseph Tully, always good to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.